there's a book I read a long time ago by Michio Kaku. You know
Mm-hmm.
Michio?
I don't.
So he's like an astrophysicist or
Okay.
astro theorist or whatever. Anyways, his job basically is he travels around the world and he goes to all these universities and these labs basically with everybody on the cutting edge of technology, whether
Yeah.
it's like brains, AI, traveling the stars, whatever it is, he's the guy. And then he takes the information he learns from speaking to these people, and he does seminars, typically at universities, big universities all
Okay.
around the world. And then at the end of it, he opens it up for Q&A, so people in the audience can ask him questions and all this stuff like that. Well, he wrote this book, and I might ruin it, but I believe it was called Power of the Mind or Power of the Brain or Future of the Mind or Future of the Brain. My memory sucks. I used to be a preacher, but anyway, so he wrote this book, and I was reading it, and one of the things he talked about was your left and right hemisphere are actually two independently thinking minds.
Yeah.
We think we have one conscious mind that we think from, but it's actually two different people in your head that are constantly communicating and solving problems together. And there's one side, I want to say it's the left side, that controls the mouth.
Yeah.
And that's the one that gets to make the final decision. So they don't always agree, right? So
Okay.
I find that very interesting that one side would smell something, right? So your left brain
Yeah.
is going to control your right nostril, and your right brain, everything is crisscross.
Yeah.
So your
Yeah.
left
And
would
that's
be
exactly
controlling
it.
your right side. So
Yep.
if you're smelling that whiskey with the right side, your left is registering a certain smell. And here's the interesting thing about his book is like basically like the way they find this out, this very simple controlled test that they can do with kids. You cover one eye and you cover one ear. Say you cover the left eye and the right ear. And then I ask a little kid a question. I say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Well, I'm talking to his
The
opposite,
opposite.
yeah,
Right.
his
Yeah.
opposite brain. So basically, his right ear and his right eye can see me and hear me. So I'm literally talking to his left brain.
Yeah.
Okay. So his left brain might say, "I want to be a fireman when I grow up."
Right.
And then they'll switch it and they'll switch the other side. And he might be like, "I want to be an astronaut." And so it's very simple controlled tests, but there's like advanced testing or, incidents that have happened where somebody gets into an accident.
Right. And
And
they
there
no longer have the use of
exactly.
stroke.
Right. So
Right.
one side like loses ability to make decisions, so the other side takes over completely. And many cases out there. One of them was this guy was married to his wife for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Gets in a car accident. That was the side that was controlling his mouth. So got to make the final decision, and that side decided, I love my wife, right?
Right.
Well, that side gets like ruined in this car accident, so the other side takes over, hates her.
Oh no.
Never liked her at all. Divorces her. Like leaves her that very next day and is like, I'm fucking out of here. Leave. Like, so you could be a Democrat on one
that side of the brain is like, I'm free of this ding dong. Yeah.
Yeah. One side can
Wow.
be a Democrat, one side can be
Yeah.
a Republican.
Yeah.
And it's like the side that controls the mouth is the ultimate, like the one that holds the most power.
Yeah.
But I find it very interesting.
It
So,
makes a lot of sense. I mean, I've always
Yeah.
heard like left right brain, but like not to that degree. Now I gotta read that book.
Yeah,
You always have good references to.
dude, it's a great book.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to spend this whole time about the book, but he goes in like, and he's learning this from the guy, like the scientists that are on the cutting edge of this research.
Right,
So like
right.
it's, and I mean, he gets into, uploading consciousness into, like memory,
Yeah.
right? And how, like right now they've been mapping the human mind and the human consciousness. And I think I think when he wrote this book, it was like 10 or 15 years ago, they were at like not even 5% or 10% or something like that. So I don't know how far they've come.
Right.
But basically, once they're able to 100% map your human consciousness, they will be able to like upload it into a virtual cloud,
Right.
basically. And then once it's in there, it's just storage, right? It's like data. And so you can upload data into anything. I can put it into a hard drive. I can put it into a cloud. I can upload it. And here's what a lot of people don't understand. I can put it onto a laser. You can store infinite amounts of data and memory onto lasers,
Right.
like a laser beam.
Yeah. And
Okay.
isn't that how they're talking about the transporting of not just information but people
Yeah.
through that
Yeah.
that same kind of
So I'm already in this. I'm going to keep going. So, all right. So he breaks it down and says like, he breaks the whole book down basically about questions people ask him at
Sure.
these Q&A seminars. Okay. And one of them is like, are we ever going to be able to travel the cosmos? Okay. So from all of the people that he knows, the experts in his field, he breaks it down into how it could actually happen. And one of them is nanobots, self-replicating nanobots.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to shoot off we're going to go really nerdy.
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah.
Nobody saw this one coming. We're going to go,
From distillery to nanobots.
He goes, we're getting to the point where we already have self-replicating nanobots. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Once we're capable of shooting those off into space, those nanobots imagine nanobots spreading out throughout the universe, and anything they land on, a moon, a planet, whatever, they can basically land on it, start self-replicating and creating a transmitter or receiver. They could, whatever you build them to do,
right,
they will do, right? So I can send nanobots to planets and have them self-replicate until they get to the point where they can build me an avatar, like a robotic body on this planet.
Yep.
Okay, so
and then you
receiver.
transport your cloud mind into the I was following you all the way. It's like, oh no.
So that's what the maybe not too far future looks like. And it, because like right now we can't travel the cosmos because our bodies cannot handle it.
No, right. It physically, we're a weak species. Like tissue is not going to make the trip.
Exactly.
But
just from radiation alone, I mean, it's nearly impossible.
Right.
So, but if we can upload our consciousness and we can transmit that in a laser beam, you can shoot at the speed of light to another galaxy, another universe, whatever. It gets picked up, gets downloaded into the avatar from the nanobots that are self-replicating, and boom, your consciousness is walking around in an avatar, just like the movie Avatar, on another planet that you don't require oxygen to live, you don't need food, you don't need water.
But that's a painful thing too. Now, we enjoy things. We enjoy the flavor of food. We enjoy the flavor of whiskey. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So how long would you survive over there? I mean, you could survive indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
But your subconscious like missing food, missing the flavor. Because these are all, that's one of the things that I love about whiskey too, is whiskey and food and flavor, it's all transcendent and brings you to a space of your consciousness that it's like time travel in and of itself, right? Like I can't have my grandmother's cookies anymore. She's no longer with us, right? But whenever I taste this whiskey, like it sends me back. Brings a tear to my eye, right? Like, and that's why I love this whiskey. So you're talking about going and doing those things, from somewhere else, and like, no, you don't need food.
It's a very ethical question.
But do you need it?
It's a debate,
right? For your subconscious, your psyche, your mental health.
This stuff is going to happen.
Right.
This is coming down the line, and those are going to be debates that are going to happen. Like you're going to see big conversations about what is ethical in this. Like now that we can do it, once it's done, there's no going back.
Yeah.
People are going to sign up for it, and then it becomes okay. Hey, how happy are they? Are they really happy, or are you just telling us they're happy? Right? Like there was an episode of Black Mirror. Did you ever watch the one where the guy basically committed a murder and his punishment was, I forget, hundreds and hundreds of years? You know how you get multiple life sentences?
Yeah.
He gotten like 7 or 8 life sentences for this murder that he did. And well, in the future, if I can upload somebody's consciousness, he can never die.
Right.
So they uploaded his consciousness into this program where basically he had to serve out the entire 800-year sentence.
Right.
And every day of the sentence was him reliving the whole experience. Yeah.
As if it was the first time too. Like I did not see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's incredible, dude. It's like one of the most biggest mind fucks. And at the end of it, he gets to realize where he is, and then boom, it starts right back over. And that's his punishment.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is what they say. That's what they say hell is, right? Like it's just it brings me back to Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I think it was Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey where they have to go back to hell, and it's their worst memory, right? And then they have to choose which memory do they serve the rest of their life in.
Yeah.
It's just
it's crazy, dude. I love it. I'm excited. I think it's definitely going to raise a lot of concerns, but I think this is the necessary step if we're going to move off this planet. And if the human race is going to survive extinction, we have to move off planet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Elon's pushing for Mars so bad, but we got to go further than Mars.
Yeah.
Because if something happens in this galaxy, right? Or, we're fucked.
Oh
It doesn't
yeah.
matter what planet
There's
we're
no place
on.
for us to go.
We
This
have to
this
go
galaxy,
further.
all the planets are dead.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they've maybe found water, or
Yeah.
they've maybe found a way to
Yeah.
burrow into one of these dead planets, but
Yeah, like I forget what the numbers, the accurate numbers are, but like if we stay on this planet, we have a 100% chance of dying eventually. All
Right.
of us. If we are able to move to just one other body, it increases our odds of survival like tremendously, like 50%. You have twice as much chance of staying alive. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
consider that. Now, consider you move to another galaxy, a neighboring galaxy, and you're able to transfer whatever we need over there.
Right, right. But again, like the planet itself is killing us. So, if we could move to another planet that has, less pressure, right? There's less gravity, less pressure. There's less sunlight, ultraviolet rays, right?
Right.
Like all sorts of, like the air is what we're only breathing. I think it's 20% oxygen in your ambient air. What if you go to a place where it's 30%? Like you could live potentially like, oh no, you live and stay in kind of a younger body because time isn't killing you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people that say like the human body, like what makes the human body, like our DNA is not designed to be on Earth.
Right.
Like that's the reason, like the gravity is too heavy for seemingly what our bodies were created for. And that's why there's a big population of people out there that think that we are on the wrong planet. Like we got seeded from another place where there was less gravity.
Sure.
That's why when you get older, you just keep getting shrinking and shrinking.
They literally, your spine is shrinking. It's compressing.
Yeah.
Everything is compressing.
Yeah.
Because we're under so much pressure.
Almost
right?
like we're the aliens on this planet.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense. I look at the universe as, any body that has water on it is an oasis. It's like a desert.
Sure.
Like if you're capable of traveling the cosmos, you're obviously going to inhabit every oasis possible, and you're going to drop people off because you want your species to survive. It's a game of survival.
Right.
On the macro level and micro level, it's the name of the game. Just survive as a species if you can. And so there's
nothing saying that somebody, didn't place us here.
Exactly.
And we just had to start over as a species.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we used to think we couldn't find water out there. Now we're finding out there's water everywhere. There's ice caps. There's like oceans underneath ice caps on moons. We thought there could only be life on planets. Now we find out there's moons. Like there's some of these planets have 50, 60, 70, 80 moons orbiting them. And many of these they could have life on them. There's literally oceans of water underneath their ice caps. And then on top of it, they found like literally just floating in space is this huge glob of water.
Just like the sun is a gas.
It's like 500
glob
trillion,
of just water.
Glob of water floating in space. And it's like just floating there. It's like 500 trillion times the amount of water we have in all the oceans on Earth. And it's just for some reason floating in space. And you could see it as blue. It's got it's just, what the fuck is that? I don't know. They're finding new shit every day. Now it's like incredible with all this, the latest telescopes and all that.
But can you bring whiskey to all these places? This is the question. That's the biggest question of all. Like, no, you can't laser the flavor of whiskey.
Yeah.
So enjoy it while we got it.
Damn right.
In this archaic world we live in now.